Hello. I'm doing a second channel update. Not much, but I just yeah, I do these channel updates. Like sometimes these updates are not going to be like an actual channel update, but are going to be like more of updates on my life. But yeah, so it's been 2 weeks, I think, or like 1 week. I think last week. Yeah, 2 weeks. Last week and this week, and it's going good. Also another thing there too is that another thing there too is that I'll also tell you more about my life now. But another thing there too is that I'm also trying to make videos on my VR right there, but I've been struggling a lot. So you'll see some. I'll try and get some like vids on like videos of me playing on my VR. But yeah, you're just gonna have to wait a bit. I got it figured out. It's just that downloading videos and exporting them to my phone is the hard part. Just the download time is long. Not to mention that a lot of people in the like this is my Gukam and Muslim's house. So there are a lot of people in our but there's like nowadays like there's a lot of people in our house. I have my uncle and auntie upstairs, my brother, my two sisters, my mom, and my Muslim. Our Gukam died like this year in January. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. I'll talk about more of my life starting now. So, and if you want to know more about me, check my introduction video to learn a bit about me there, and check my first channel update video. But I'll talk about me. um, I remember I saw one of my comments saying like stating that saying that how am I older than you, bro? You look 23 at least with that stash. That was from my introduction video. I wear a mask because I'm just insecure about my face. A lot. But that first video, I'm not gonna take it down and like redo it because then again, in my first video, gotta start somewhere. And I also like to look back at some of my videos, as cringy as they are, but still, it's so nice to look back at stuff. Just don't. But yeah. And I'll talk about my height as I as yeah I'm 6'9", but yeah, I did state to I did say in the comment section of one of my videos that I had a growth spurt as a kid, and I'll tell you when I was like in like I was taller than like all my like classmates when I was in grade 2 to like well nowadays I'm taller than like everyone. Like and like ever since I started school, like kindergarten to daycare to like every grade of school, I was taller than everyone. But I will say what was the most impressive thing about it. I think like when I was like 10 years old, I was which I think I was in grade 5 or 6 at that time or 4. I was taller than all the teachers, and then in grade like all the female teachers because I went to a school that had like a bunch of female teachers and only 2 male teachers. And and the only teacher I wasn't tall enough, which was in grade 5, was my grade 5 teacher. But out of everyone, I was like taller than all of the junior high kids inside my school. But I ended up transferring to another school in grade 7. I'm not gonna say what school it was, but then yeah, because there are rules to stating things, but it was not the state school names. But yeah, and I was really tall. Like I was like the tallest kid, like ever. And also because of that, that came out with some interesting things. I live in a ghetto, like town, like I there's a res like I live in like the ghetto res pretty much. And so whenever I went go for walks, I was like this was like years ago, like years ago. And I would have people. I would have sometimes like old people, or like some like teenagers or like, but mostly adults, mostly like adults or elders, like walking on the street side to get the stores, come up to me and say, "Hey, you got a smoke, buddy?" And I was like, "No, I'm a minor." And like, wait, what? other times I just, uh, but other times I just would just not say I was a minor because then again, like because then again, like I always felt bad about making them feel uncomfortable. Sometimes I was a pushover. All right. But yeah, but also another thing there too is that I was in some of my videos I did mention I had lower back problems, and I'll tell you, as a kid, like I always hunched my back. I always hunched my back a lot because I played games a lot. I played the Xbox 360. I played the Xbox One. And I played the PlayStation 4. This is PS5, but now I play a PS5. But yeah, and but this is how I this is how I'm both still tall, and that is I stand up straight, but when I sit down I hunch my back. But sometimes I hunch my back when I'm standing, but that is so I can hide, as I'm also a quiet kid in school nowadays. But it's led my back to become very flexible. That is flexible forward, but not backwards. And here, I'll show you. I'm gonna sit down right here, and look how low I can go. And maybe I should move up here, but yeah, I'd be yeah, that's how low I can go. I can go even lower too. But on but on what makes it very funny is that whenever I'd have school and we'd do mass, I always hated mass because I hated standing up for so long, especially when in mass you'd be sitting down for literally like 5 minutes or like 2 minutes, and then when you'd be told stand up or arise arise, like I'd stand up, but I'd stand up too quickly that I'd get a head rush all the time, and I just struggle with trying to fight back of like falling on the ground or passing out. My vision would just go like smudges of black would appear in my vision as well. That's what happens when you have a head rush. Your like smudges of black like appear in your vision, and your body, your legs like feel tired to the point where you feel like you're about to fall down or you feel like you're about to pass out. And that's how it was every mass. I always hated mass because of it. But I remember a lot of the time, everyone knew I was the tall person, but people had a hard time finding me because because like I said, I'd sit down hunched. So to others, I would appear to be like a 5 foot to just like a 6 foot, like six, or like no 6 foot, like just like a 6 foot person to like a 6'5" person when I'd like sit down, like just like ordinary height usually. Or if I hunched back even lower, like I'd like appear to be like somewhere like in the 5 foot range, like 5'12", no, 5'11" to 10 or 9. The lowest which was when you saw me like all the way down to like a child's pose almost, except my legs were crossed, was like that low. Like people would just assume I was like either like a kid or like some junior high student just sitting down, because then again, like in math class you have like assigned seating, like a lower grade sits in the front, the higher grade sit in the back. So some people would thought I would be like some like I don't know, like some real small kid from like the bigger grades, or just some or just like some, I don't know, special kid, like special needs kid, like who sat near the teachers all the time, or like I saw some people in my school like would sometimes have siblings, so they'd go to like sit in the higher grades to go sit with their siblings to feel more comfortable around them. But that was like some students though who got that privilege. Oh, and yeah, And yeah, whenever I'd sit down, no one would expect a thing. But as soon as I'd stand up, I just hear whispers like, I just hear a whisper like, "Holy shit, that guy's tall! Holy, look at this guy! That's the tall kid right there. That's the tall kid in our school. Goodness me!" Like, I just hear that. I just hear whispering. Not to mention that when I don't have like a mask on in school because I wear a mask, like I started wearing masks when COVID hit. When COVID hit, I started wearing masks, and eventually I liked wearing masks, and I also like wearing a hoodie all the time to hide my face, but it just stuck, which is why I like wearing a hoodie and a mask around others. Except my family sometimes, because I love my family, and I only trust my family a lot. But yeah. Which also explains why when you saw me like do at that one shadowboxing video where like did capoeira, I couldn't go low enough. That's because of my back. My that's permanent. Like this is permanent. I've actually tried like many times to try and fix my back, like but that was like a long time ago before I just accepted that. You know what? You know what? All humans are born imperfect. Some are born perfect, but everyone is also born imperfect. I don't know, like disabilities, like I don't know, so like loss of arms or legs, loss of like I don't know, like one or two eyes, like both eyes, being deaf, like not being able to speak, that stuff. And I guess this is how I just came into the world. That or I made myself like this, but still. So it actually has its uses because, like I said, I'm a tall person, and there's a lot of cons on being tall, and that is that your head tends to like hit like stuff like this, like that. I just headbutted my curtain right here. That's for my closet. Other things there too include stuff hanging from the ceiling. Where there was many times where I'd be like trying to go eat in the dining table, like in like the dining room, and we have this chandelier, and I just bonk my head on like the little like corners and edges, and like even like the little points of it, as this is an old house. So I'd bonk my head on it, or I'd be in the kitchen, I don't know, like getting food, stuff like that, like grabbing some fruits and vegetables, I don't know, doing the dishes. And I'd either move my head up, or I just walk into it, and like a little thing where like it's, I forgot what it's called, but it's where like you have these little small hooks you put on there. You like put them through like I don't know, like think of like a cleaver with like those little hooks in there, those little like holes in there where you can hook it onto a thing where it just stays there, or like having like a pot or a pan that has a hole in there where you hook it on there. Basically, I sometimes walk into those and just bonk my head. So honestly, having a back like this, having a back where I can hunch it down, is good, because I can just avoid that. That, and also having a hunchback is also great. That is also because like I said, I'm also a quiet kid in school, so if I just wanna just hide, I can just hunch my back. The only giveaway are my legs, as I'm tall, so the only thing I can really do to like shorten my legs is to like bend them. is to like bend my legs. Otherwise, if I hunch my back, my entire like upper body is short, but my legs are long and huge. Like I've had like I would like sit in the front, and like I look like a kid, but some of the kids who were in the front would notice me and say, "That's definitely an adult. Look at his legs. His legs are huge and long. Look at his feet. His feet are bigger than a basketball." On what I'd hear some kids say in the front when I'd sit there, as I don't like sitting in the back. Whenever I'm on a school bus, I'd hate sitting in the back because that's where all the cool kids are, and I ain't cool. I'm just a quiet kid. But yeah. That, and also the back tends to get rowdy, especially with the older kids. There was one time before I swapped schools to like a new school, which was when I had to leave my old school in grade 6. I finished grade 6 and moved in for grade 7. to right now, I went to another school, but back then there was like 2 years of it, like through grade 5 to 6. Actually, no, that no, to grade 5 to 6. There would be a bunch of junior high students who would be fighting in like the back seats. I'm not kidding. Like, I had like I remember there were like literal like the junior high students would be like actually like fighting, like it was a war zone back there. I remember looking back and seeing some people getting like grappled and like slammed onto the ground or onto the seats. The bus driver was an old guy, so it was an old guy and didn't seem to really care that much. And yeah, got very chaotic back there. The front was always the safest place, especially when back then I never liked having like when it comes to like owning a phone, which is right here, this little thing I'm talking to right now. And I can see the recording up to 16 minutes and 9 seconds. Now 10, 11, 15, it's okay. I'm gonna stop there. But yeah, it was like the safe, like I would just have like a DS. I didn't like having a phone. That was because I always thought there's way too much responsibility in having a phone. Like there's too much responsibility. I have to take care of this thing. This thing is like I have to take care of this thing more than like a dog or a cat. Like, no, I always hated phones because of it. But the only thing that I knew I had to have was a phone, because I needed a phone. That is so my mom could call me my mom could call me or text me about stuff, like if she was gonna like buy me stuff, or like my dad would come and like also like go and buy me stuff and get me stuff for school and stuff like that. But I always still hated a phone. But know what was the funniest part about having a phone? My brother liked having a phone, but I just hated having a phone. But know what made it funny? My brother sometimes like when he takes care of his phones, like it would like under a year or under a few months, the phone would already be like cracked or like bits of it broken. But for me, I'd always have it without a case, like a protective case, a protective screen, but I just leave it like blank, like nothing protective. But but somehow my phone would last longer than his, and also it wouldn't break. It would only break in like 3 to 4 years of use, and I'm not joking on that. Which was more funnier. Like, I hated phones, yet I took care of them like a lot better than my brother did, who liked phones himself, but I didn't like phones. That's because I was like, there's too much responsibility I have to put in this small electronic. Like, what's the use? Sure, calling is there, but still, I don't want to put all my time into this thing. As I always thought, like, I want to put more time into my video games. I want to put more time into going outside and playing. Another thing there too is that another thing there too that actually makes having a hunchback good is that when it comes to fighting, on how I always thought of it, and also I've actually like realized that honestly, in a way, like having a hunchback is kind of good for fighting. That was because as a tall person, like there's I think I read about like a lot about fighting, and that was that the taller you are, like an increased knockout chance, that stuff. But the one thing I always that I always thought of and was said that which could be probably like the biggest like the really a really big problem for tall people in fighting is range. If a short person were to like just close the distance between you, that'd be hard to like defend yourself against, because as a tall person your limbs are longer, and also you only have full power when your fist extends out, but not when it's like at a short range, unless you're like you practice the in fight a lot. But yeah, especially with grappling. grappling can be good for tall people, but also like when you're fighting a short person who knows grappling, that's a problem, especially when you're tall, so you tend to lose more balance because, and also you tend to get grappled and tackled to the ground more easier because the shorter person like will has like they don't have a range advantage, but I did say like when I did look up that when you like like attack and strike, like when you like it extends to like the fullest point is when you have the most strength and power in your stuff. So as a short person, they have the most strength like up close. And also tall people tend to get beaten real easily in fights. Especially when it comes to grappling. But having a hunchback and being able to like punch it and also like shorten my body is actually kind of good because I can lower myself to their height almost and like defend against it. Not to mention that as an outboxer, I actually did mention in one of my videos I was an outboxer. I'm usually a striker. I like striking a lot. I was actually originally a grappler when I started fighting, but that was because I would always like play wrestle with my brother and some of my friends when I was back then. But yeah, I was a grappler back then, but still I liked striking more, as I liked striking a lot, but I like kicking a lot. But it's hard to kick when when I always tend to hunch my back a lot, so it looks like I'm like some old man just trying to kick. Get back up, kids! Get the fuck out of here! Sorry. But yeah. But also yeah, like I said, having my back hunched like this is also bad because when I lean back, I'm pretty flexible for my back, but still I hunch my back a lot. So when you see me kick, that's because like I said. But also, if I were like to show you my back curves. Like I'm not even joking when I say this about my back, and that is, I think the problem is it's in my lower back because I noticed that I always wondered on why it was always like it could hunch like that. And I remember touching my lower back and finding out that my lower back doesn't even move, but my upper part of my back does. It's like my spine and my lower back is stiff, like it's permanent, like it's like glued like that. Because I remember I'd move my body, and I'd sometimes even try and go as low as I can, and my lower back would stay like in the same position forever, like every time it would stay in the same position. And my upper back seems to like when I do this, my back goes inward. When I do this, my back goes outward. But right here, it just stops. Like my lower back, it just stops. Like it doesn't make any movement at all. But I always thought like it was just for the spine, but still, like it makes no movement at all. Not to mention it. When I touch my back, I notice that my back feels like bony and stuff like that, but when I touch my lower back, it's flat. I know you're not me and you can't see and feel what I feel and stuff, but my lower back, like the spine just feels flat. What?
Sorry.
Get out!
Yeah.
I'm in a video.
I'm kidding.
Anyway, yeah. But that's all I wanted to say. I'll talk about more next Sunday. I'll talk about more, stuff next Sunday. Also, I'll try and make some posts maybe. Because I did say in my last, my first channel update, I was gonna make posts of, me drawing or something like that. I forgot. That was last Sunday. That was 7 days ago, I think. Yeah, 7 days. Anyway, bye.